Google's Pixel Watch has one of the more polarizing aesthetic appearances of any watch that's been released in the last good while. The way that the glass sort of folds or rolls or curves around the edges, I think is something you're either going to like or you're going to dislike. Now, one factor about having that glass roll around the edge, though, is that it might be difficult to keep this thing from being scratched or damaged. Now, I do want to point out, my wife has actually been daily driving this particular Pixel watch, and so far, as you can see, even though she is fairly hard on her watches, it has actually held up, I would say, quite a bit better than I actually thought that it would. But that being said, there are, surprisingly to me, several different sort of cases on the market for the Pixel watch, and they range $11, $15, $18. Spigen is in on this, Caseology, and I don't know how you pronounce that, Ringke, something like that. So what I did is I went ahead and I ordered all three of them. I've got them here. So what we're looking at is what I would imagine are the three most popular cases for your Google Pixel watch in case you want to have that additional protection. I'm going to unbox these. I'm going to pop them on one at a time and tell you what I think about each of them. All right, we're going to start with the one from Ringke first because that was the one that took the longest to get to me. So we're just going to get it out of the way first. Most of these actually got here in 2 days. This one took like over a week and the box is smashed. So yeah, keep that stuff in mind, I guess. And I think that literally that's all there is to it. There's another thing in here, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so there's a clear plastic thing in here. And there is a black plastic thing in here. And I guess what this is it's giving you an option. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So you're either going to have this, which just as simply as that is going to fit over the watch and then just sort of keep the aesthetics pretty much the same as it was before while giving you that added protection. Or you've got the black version here. I'll set that aside, which is actually going to change the aesthetics of this thing quite a bit. So the black one here is kind of a softer touch, like it's almost kind of grippy, whereas this is just a hard plastic. So I like that you've got two options there. Very, very basic, not much to it. Although, you know, look, I actually kind of like the look of this one. That's really not too bad. So Ringke, that one is $11. It is the cheapest option. You saw how easy that was to install. So that one's not so bad. Let's go up in order of price. So the Caseology one will be the next one to try. And this is immediately a much more robust looking case. It feels like it's obviously it's flexible, but it's grippy. There's textures to it on the side. And I'm also noticing I have to take off the bands to install this because they have to slide through that. So I have to actually press the little button there on the watch band and slide it over to get the bands off. I'm going to leave them like that so that I know the orientation to put them back on. And I'm Google searching as I'm doing this on accident. I'm going to poke the crown through on that one side. Okay, so that is installed. Okay, so that, I keep looking at that flashing thing on the bottom. I have to stop doing that. Okay. One thing about this one is that your crown is going to be a little bit harder to get to because it's almost flush with the edge. But overall, I think that this is going to give you a little bit of additional protection when compared to the ones from Ringke. I'm not going to put the bands back on because I have to take them right back off again. This seems to be pretty good, though. I think that this is going to offer better protection than the other one. So let's pop this back off and let's move on to the one by Spigen, which is the most expensive one of the bunch at $18. And it also is one that you have to remove the bands to get to. So this is very, very similar to the one from Caseology, but rather than having this sort of grippy texture of this one. It is a softer, smoother sort of rubber. And installation was not too bad on that one as well. Honestly, I kind of like the look of this one. I haven't pointed this out, but they've all either had a hole or some sort of way to like pass through a button press to the button there on the side. The speaker is cut out there, which I believe that was also the case on the one from Caseology. These are really, really similar products overall. Really, it is a texture difference for the most part between the two. And there you can kind of imagine what that would look like with the bands back on there. So I put the one band back on, and the reason I did this is to check this out. I noticed that there's a lot of flex there. Like, look how far I can kind of bend that up onto the top of the screen. Like it's a little bit loose. I wonder if they're both on. Now, yeah, there's still just a lot of flex to that, which I don't necessarily like. I think I need to put the Caseology one back on. Yeah, it definitely is. It's way more rigid. Way more rigid. So, okay, so if I'm rank ordering these, we're going to go Caseology number 1 because it is more rigid and I think it's going to do a better job of staying in place to be protective. Maybe Spigen number 2 just because the protection is going to be a bit better. But then honestly, for like a budget answer to this one from Ringke is going to keep it from getting scratched. It's going to do the job pretty well also. Overall, I think that they're all pretty decent. I do like how easy it is to install the one from Ringke. I wonder if you hit it against something, is there a chance it would pop off? That's definitely a possibility, but it's hard to say. I'm going to turn these all over to my wife as this is what she is wearing and let her decide which one to go with. Maybe we'll do like a long-term check-in with whichever one she ends up going with. As usual, I will have affiliate links to all these in the description down below. If you want to check them out for yourself, they will be there for that. Guys, subscribe so you don't miss out on more content like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.